right, let's talk about Taylor Swift. You know her, right? The girl with 278 million Instagram followers, the one who crashed the NFL when she showed up to see her boyfriend Travis Kelce, the one whose album dropped and literally made economists write papers about her impact on the American economy. Yeah, that Taylor. So, everyone's obsessed. But nobody's asking the real question. Why is she the richest, most powerful woman on the planet? Not just in music, in everything. And I'm not talking about her net worth, though it's insane. I'm talking about her actual power. Her ability to control the narrative, drop an album, and literally shift markets. So buckle up. Because this isn't a motivation speech. This is the dark, uncomfortable truth about why Taylor won in a way that almost nobody else can. Let's go. First, let's be real. Taylor Swift in 2025 isn't just a pop star. She's a financial force. Think about this. In October 2025, she dropped The Life of a Showgirl. Not a surprise, a planned, orchestrated release. And you know what happened? $200+ million in first week revenue. Let me say that again. $200 million in 1 week for songs. That's more than most Fortune 500 companies make in a quarter. But here's where it gets scary. She didn't just sell records, she shifted the entire music industry, the way people buy music, the way streams are counted, the economics of how we consume pop music. Economists wrote actual academic papers about this. Economists about her album release. When was the last time your album drop made the Wall Street Journal run a think piece? Yeah, exactly. Never. And the crazier part? It's not an accident. Taylor knew exactly what she was doing. She'd already proven she could do this. She took her catalog back, re-recorded her albums, Taylor's version, and basically said to the industry, I make the rules now. Most artists, they complain about record labels. They beg for better deals. Taylor said, no, fuck that. I'm rewriting my music myself. And everyone followed. Now every artist wants to own their masters. Every artist wants to re-record their work. She didn't just change her career, she changed the entire industry structure. That's not luck. That's ruthlessness packaged as artistry. Now, let's talk about the Travis Kelce engagement. Because this is where Taylor shows you she's not just a pop star, she's a chess player. In December 2024, Taylor was already the biggest pop star in the world. She'd already dominated 2024. She'd already won the Eras Tour. She was untouchable. But then, Travis Kelce, NFL star Travis Kelce, proposed. Right? Perfect timing. Right before the holidays. Right when the media cycles are slowest and an engagement can own the entire news cycle. And the ring? $1 million diamond. Rumor has it. Now, was this organic? Maybe. Maybe she just fell in love and got engaged like a normal person. But let's be honest here. Taylor doesn't do anything that isn't calculated. Every relationship, every appearance, every post is strategic. She's a billionaire businesswoman. She doesn't leave things to chance. Think about what this engagement did. It merged the NFL and pop music. Two massive audiences. Boom. Overlapped. It made her relatable. She wasn't just a pop princess, she was a woman in love. It gave her 6 months of free media coverage leading into 2026. It made Travis Kelce more famous than he's ever been. Most importantly, it gave her leverage. Because here's the thing nobody's saying. Taylor just gained the entire NFL fan base as her audience. Millions of people who've never cared about pop music are now invested in her relationship. That's not love. That's mergers and acquisitions dressed up as romance. And I'm not saying she doesn't actually love him. I'm saying she's smart enough to know what his last name is worth. She's smart enough to know what a Super Bowl appearance next year would do for her brand. She's smart enough to use her personal life as a business asset. Most people can't separate those things. They fall in love and it's messy and complicated. Taylor falls in love and launches a global media campaign. simultaneously.
Okay, so The Life of a Showgirl dropped in October 2025, and it's complicated. The media called it her boldest work. Critics said it was her most artistic album. Fans? They lost their minds. But here's what's interesting. It was also controversial. Some people thought it was too raw, too vulnerable. Some said it was too experimental. Some people accused her of using her personal relationships for content. Again. And you know what Taylor did? Nothing. She didn't apologize. She didn't clarify. She didn't go on a podcast and explain herself. She just let it be controversial. Because controversy is engagement. Engagement is data. Data is power. Let me break this down. The album generated 2 million TikTok uploads in 48 hours. 2 million! People making content about her content. She created a machine where fans spend hours decoding her lyrics, creating theories, making videos, writing essays. She didn't just release an album, she released a puzzle, a game. She made her audience do the work of promoting her. That's a masterclass in creating demand. You don't sell someone a product and hope they like it. You sell them a mystery and let them solve it. That's psychological manipulation at the highest level. And I don't say manipulation like it's bad. I say it because that's what it is. She understands human psychology better than most marketing firms. She knows what makes people obsess, what makes them engage, what makes them spend money. Compare that to literally any other artist. They drop an album, it gets streams, maybe some videos, then it fades. Taylor drops an album and it becomes a 6-month cultural event. It's not the songs that matter. It's the mystery. It's the game.
So let's talk about the actual business moves, because this is where you see that Taylor isn't just talented. She's ruthless. First, she owned her masters. Her old records, she re-recorded them. Didn't just release them, she made them better. Vault tracks, Easter eggs. She made the new versions more valuable than the originals. You know what that does? It devalues the old versions. It makes people buy the new ones. It's basically destroying your own old products to force people to buy the new ones. That's not artistic. That's psychological warfare against your own fan base. Second, she diversified. She's not just a singer anymore. She's got Netflix documentary deal, 9 figures rumor, merchandise empire worth hundreds of millions, Eras tour sponsorships, Live Nation, Visa, etc., literal billions. Production company developing films. Eras tour film made $30+ million in revenue. She's not an artist, she's a brand, like Disney, like Nike. She's a financial holding company that happens to make music. Third, she controls the narrative completely. You ever notice she never apologizes? She never goes on social media and explains herself. She just exists, and the media fills in the blanks. Her team manages the message so tightly that every story about her is pre-approved, pre-vetted. That's not luck. That's a PR firm worth millions running her entire life. Every appearance, every relationship, every lyric, it's all controlled. Most artists have a song leak or a bad performance, and it's a crisis. Taylor has a relationship drama, and it's a marketing opportunity. That's the difference between someone with power and someone who just has talent. All right, so here's the uncomfortable part that I'm going to say and everyone will hate me for. Taylor didn't become the richest, most powerful woman in pop culture because she's the most talented. Because she's not. There are singers better than her. There are songwriters more clever than her. There are performers who can outdo her. Taylor became untouchable because she has, number 1, ruthlessness. She'll sacrifice relationships for songs. She'll use personal drama as marketing. She'll release the same album 4 times and charge people 4 times. Most artists have a conscience. Taylor has a business plan. Number 2, strategic thinking. She doesn't just make music. She plans albums 6 years in advance. She plans narratives. She plans exactly what will trend and when. While other artists are making music, Taylor is playing 4D chess with global media. Number 3, the privilege to fail. Okay, she didn't fail, but she had the economic advantage to take risks. She could release experimental music because she was already rich. She could take years to make an album because she didn't need the money. Most artists need their next song to pay rent. Taylor was making strategic moves from a position of security. Number 4, timing and luck mixed with talent. She started as a country singer in 2006, right when country music was exploding. She pivoted to pop in 2014 when the world was ready for her. She didn't invent trends, she caught them at exactly the right moment. Number 5, and this is the most important one, she understood that fame is currency. She understood that if people are talking about you, if people are obsessed with you, if people are making theories and videos and songs about you, then you win. Even if it's negative, even if it's criticism, it's all attention, and attention is money. So when people said her album was too controversial, she didn't panic. She thought, good, more people talking, more engagement, more viral moments. That's not the mindset of an artist. That's the mindset of a CEO. Okay, so you're watching this and thinking, all right, so I'll just copy Taylor's formula. No, you won't. Here's why. First, Taylor had a 20-year head start. She was a country star in 2006. By the time social media became important, she was already famous. You're starting now. You're 20 years behind. You can't make that up. Second, she had family money. Her parents were investors. Her dad was in finance. Her mom was a marketing executive. She didn't start poor. She started with a safety net that let her take risks. Most people, they need money immediately. They take the first gig. They compromise. Third, she was conventionally attractive at exactly the right time. 2006 Taylor, beautiful, blonde, tall, skinny. She fit the industry's ideal perfectly. Could she have succeeded if she didn't? Maybe, but it would have been harder. Talent isn't gender neutral. Beauty sells. Fourth, she has a team. Not one manager, a team of hundreds. PR team, business managers, lawyers, accountants, a whole machine built just to manage her career. You're probably doing this alone with a laptop. Fifth, the music industry is different now. When Taylor started, you could dominate with just music. Now, you need a podcast, a TikTok, a YouTube channel, merchandise, a brand, a narrative. It's exponentially harder. Sixth, and maybe most important, she's willing to sacrifice things most people aren't. She sacrificed privacy. She sacrificed normal relationships. She sacrificed downtime. She's been working constantly for 20 years. Vacations? Maybe a week a year. Weekends? What are those? Most people can't do that. They get tired. They get burnt out. They want to have a normal life. Taylor chose to not have that. That's a decision. A conscious, deliberate decision that most people would fail at. So yeah, you can try to copy her formula, but you'll hit a wall. Because the formula isn't just the moves. The formula is being born with certain advantages, having ruthlessness most people don't have, and being willing to sacrifice things that actually matter. Can you do that? Honestly, probably not, because you're human. Taylor's operating on a different level. So here's the real answer to why is Taylor Swift the most successful woman in the world. It's not because she's the best singer. It's not because she makes the best music. It's not because she works harder than everyone else. It's because she understood something that most people don't. That in 2025, being successful isn't about being good at something. It's about being interesting, being talked about, being controversial, being strategic. She understood that if people are obsessed with you, if people are making theories about your love life, if people are decoding your lyrics, if people are making TikToks about your albums, then you've already won. The product doesn't even matter. The narrative is the product. So she built a machine that generates obsession, that generates conversation, that generates demand. And here's the dark part. It works. It works perfectly. People say, oh, Taylor is manipulative. Yeah, and she's worth $1.6 billion. So manipulation pays, ruthlessness pays, strategic thinking pays. If you want to succeed like Taylor, you need to be willing to do what she does. You need to be willing to sacrifice. You need to be willing to use people. You need to be willing to create narratives that might not be entirely true. You need to be willing to play the game on a level most people aren't comfortable with. Can you do that? Are you willing to? If you are, then maybe you'll have a shot at being successful. But if you're like most people and you just want to make good music or good content and hope people like it, then you're fucked. Because that's not how it works anymore. Taylor figured that out a long time ago. That's why she's winning, and you're watching.